So President Obama emerged from his hideout to slam purity tests and woke culture. This is really interesting. Let's take a look, and then I'll tell you guys my take on it.
You know, this idea of purity and you're never compromised and you're always politically woke and all that stuff, you should get over that quickly. The world is messy. There are ambiguities. People who do really good stuff have flaws. Like if I tweet or hashtag about how you didn't do something right or used the wrong verb, or then I can sit back and feel pretty good about myself because, man, you see how woke I was? I called you out. I'm going to get on TV, watch my show, watch Grownish. You know, that's not activism. That's not bringing about change.
Let me explain to you guys the clever trick that he's doing here. And here's the thing, man. He's like one of the smarter establishment Democrats. Like, he's intelligent, which is why when he ran for president, he beat John McCain, he beat Mitt Romney. And you'll notice that when it was campaign season, he sounded a lot more anti-establishment, a lot more progressive, because he can read a room better than your standard establishment Democrat. You know, any really good politician has that natural ability to kind of know what the room wants to hear. And this is a talent that a lot of politicians who want to get to that next level lack. So take somebody like Kamala Harris. No idea how to read a room. No idea how to read a room. No idea how to change gears. No idea how to craft arguments that kind of appeal broadly. But honestly, Trump actually is very good at this thing, at this whole politics thing where he can read the temperature of a room and just work off of that. And Obama's really good at it too. So here's the clever trick that he's doing. There are two interpretations of what he's saying here. One interpretation is not only reasonable, I 100% agree with it, and then one interpretation is I 100% disagree with it. So the thing that I agree with is the whole like, oh, we live in a politically correct age and people are oversensitive and people will slam you for misspeaking, saying the wrong word. They'll search for old tweets and they'll try to tear you down. And like, you know, you're not really doing anything. That's not really positive. That's not activism. That's not making a change in the world. You're just the authoritarian PC police. And, you know, you're policing words instead of getting involved in politics in a way that really improves people's lives. Okay? That's the positive interpretation of what he's saying. That's the thing that he's implying there that I totally agree with. But here's the clever trick. You'll notice there, he kind of mushed two issues together. He mushed together like woke outrage culture and, quote, purity tests. What are you getting at, Obama? Now, here's the little bait and switch he does. What he's kind of referring to is not just the, you know, the social justice warrior PC police stuff where people get outraged over the wrong word. What he's also referring to is, man, when people come after me and say I didn't do a good job as president, when people come after me for saying, oh my God, Obamacare is basically just Romney care, it's a right-wing healthcare reform. When people come after me and say, I left the NSA as is, and if anything, I expanded their spying powers. When people come after me and say, my drone strikes killed 90% civilians. This is the kind of purity test, like, get over it. The world is messy. The world is messy. I did as good as I could. Sure, whatever, there were some downsides, but look past that. And he's meshing together these two issues, one of them being woke outrage culture, and the other one being his job as president. And he's trying to say, everybody who's really mad at me for all the bad things I did, that's just woke outrage culture. And that's the part where I totally disagree with him. 100% disagree with him. Because then, any negative thing that you've ever done, you just kind of lump into that basket. Like, oh, you're mad at me for policy X, Y, or Z? woke outrage culture. No, that's not woke outrage culture. That's intelligent outrage culture. It is genuinely outrageous that you killed 90% civilians with your drone strikes. It is genuinely outrageous that you expanded the NSA spying powers. You know, it's genuinely outrageous that you waged a war on whistleblowers. So that's what's frustrating about this is, and again, this shows you how much more intelligent Obama is from all the other establishment Democrats. The other establishment Democrats will just come out and say it. You can't get mad at Obama. He did a great job. He didn't even do anything wrong. That's what other establishment Democrats will say. Obama's too intelligent for that. So he goes out there and he couches it and he makes it a more palatable argument where there's a little conflation there. Oh, well, you know, if you're mad at me for things I've done that are wrong, really, you're no different than the PC police, social justice warrior, authoritarian left outrage brigade, aren't you? It's no different than, you know, policing people's language. Oh, what are you just going to call people out on Twitter? Is that what you're going to do? It's a brilliant political move on his part. So now he set it up so that if you disagree with him on stuff he did, I'm sorry, I guess you're part of the PC police. I guess you're part of woke outrage culture. No, people who genuinely care about substantive political issues can come after you, President Obama. Because there were many things you did that were wrong. That's not saying I won't give him credit when he does something right, like when he kept freeing nonviolent drug offenders towards the end of his time in office. I think that was wonderful. I think the Iran deal was wonderful. Plenty of stuff he did where I'll give him credit. But I'm also going to criticize you where you're wrong. And that doesn't mean I'm part of the PC police. That doesn't mean I'm part of woke outrage culture. No. It means I actually want to fix the system. And that's why he slipped in purity tests. They're like, oh, the left obsessed with these purity tests. Well, no, if by purity test you mean we have standards when it comes to policies and we want our politicians to reflect that, that's called being a human being with ideas and policies and preferences. That's called being an adult with a brain. That's what that's called. So yeah, do I want you to be for Medicare for all if you're a Democrat running? Yes. Do I want you to be for free college? Yes. Do I want you to be for a living wage? Yes. Do I want you to be in favor of ending the wars? Yes. So what he's saying is like, oh no, if you actually have things you want politicians to believe in, that's outrage culture. That's woke outrage culture. No, you need to just accept a generic Democrat for being a generic Democrat because they're better than Republicans and shut off. That's it. Oh, Democrat's better than Republican. You don't disagree with that, do you? Okay, then shut up and just accept a Democrat. Shut up and accept what I did because I'm not as bad as the Republicans. So if you criticize me, woke outrage culture. You see the trick? Guys, don't fall for that, please. I actually agree on the point. If you divorce it from the purity test argument, divorce it from the fact that he's trying to lump in all criticism against him in that basket, I actually agree with the point that, you know, we need to have, I think Ben Burgess calls it, an emotionally intelligent left that's not lashing out over these side issues and the use of words and just waiting to write an outraged blog. I actually agree with that. But as much as we need to be understanding and reasonable in that sphere, we need to be as uncompromising and rigid in the sphere of actual policy. Because they ain't going to do what we want them to do unless we force them to do it. And part of forcing them to do it is saying, I will not budge. If you want my vote, here's what you got to be for. So anyway, that's my breakdown of this. I'm telling you, man, he's just smarter than the other establishment Democrats. They would never know how to craft an argument that excuses their BS with such a high degree of skill, like he just did right there. And that's one of the reasons why he was president. He knows how to talk, he knows how to craft a point, and it works. So, but just know the main reason he did that was to say any criticism of me and how I did as president is woke outrage culture, and that's not true.